Well, hello there. Welcome to the Moto Mengy channel. I just turned my cameras on because I want to talk about the next generation Goldwing. Or to be more specific, the technology that Honda seems to be patenting and developing for the next generation Goldwing. Or possibly for this Goldwing, but their patents seem to suggest it's for the next version of the Goldwing. Now Honda works way in advance, so this new Goldwing to replace this model here, the 2018 model Goldwing, is not coming anytime soon, most likely. Honda works on 10+ year time scales with new models. Heck, the previous version Goldwing to this model lasted for almost like 18 years before they refreshed it, so this new Goldwing could be a long ways off yet. But Honda is busy patenting new technologies for, and it says in the patent specifically for the new next generation Goldwing. So we can surmise a little bit about what the new Goldwing will be like from these patents, or at least what Honda is aiming to develop or trying to make here. And some of the patents are very surprising. Apparently the next Goldwing is going to be very tech heavy. Let me explain. There are 4 main areas of patents that Honda seems to be developing consistently for the next Goldwing. Number 1 being self-balancing technology. Now this is 2023 when I'm filming this. A couple of years ago, like 5-6 years ago I think it was, Honda demoed a prototype motorcycle that they made where the bike would actually self-balance. It stood up on its own, it balanced itself. Like the rider could get off the bike entirely and the bike stayed upright. And I'll show some footage here. I'll put a little clip of the video here in this video so you can see what I'm talking about, because you know, Honda actually made it. I mean, it works. They had video demonstrations of a rider sitting on the bike and the bike balancing itself at a standstill or even while moving. They even had a version of the prototype where if you tapped on the front fender or something and then walked like in front of the bike would follow you on its own. Like it balanced itself and it steered and everything, and the bike would walk right behind you like a little pet or something, like a Goldwing pet. Which is pretty awesome, really. But the version of this self-balancing technology Honda is developing for the new Goldwing isn't quite that advanced. None of the patents talk about the follow feature per se. It's not to say it won't happen or won't come, but the patents for the new Goldwing specifically talk about only the self-balancing feature, meaning the bike's sitting upright on its own and uses gyros or something, I guess. And especially for like low speeds, like for parking lot crawling, if the bike would just stay up on its own, you could, you know, slow walk it all the way around very easily while sitting on the bike and not have to worry about bouncing or getting off or any of that kind of stuff. So this new Goldwing is going to be great at slow races. It's going to just excel at those things. And the technology is pretty cool. Now I don't know how the bike does it exactly. I don't know how Honda is accomplishing this. I don't know how much weight it adds to the bike or that kind of thing. I would have to assume it adds some weight to the bike. I can't imagine it's a lightweight feature. But we don't know. It could be. It's Honda, who knows? But that's only one high technology patent that Honda has for the next generation Goldwing. Another feature they're working on and looking to incorporate, and we know this from patents they've submitted, is that they're putting on weather avoidance radar. And I'm guessing that works kind of like if you test ride the new Indian Challenger or the Indian Pursuit, even either one of those, they both have built into them weather avoidance radar, meaning you can pull up on the GPS, you can pull up a weather radar and see all the rain cells and stuff around you and bad weather, that kind of stuff. Now on the Challenger, on both the Indians, it's a paid for feature. You have to pay a subscription for it. And I have an idea Honda will do the same thing. I can't believe it's going to be a free feature or included or a one-time cost. It's probably going to be a subscription because lots of things go into subscriptions nowadays in vehicles. But still, it does seem like Honda wants to put that on the next Goldwing, which means, it might mean, they're also looking to include a better GPS. Knock on plastic. That would be wonderful because this GPS is terrible. And I have lots of videos up here I'll put in the card of me just complaining about this GPS on this Goldwing. Which way I want to go? This way. if they're willing to put weather avoidance radar on the next Goldwing, maybe they're going to improve the GPS as well. That would be a nice surprise. But I think honestly having weather avoidance radar on the Goldwing would be pretty handy. You can do it now if you have your phone pulled up on your bike, and you can pull up like the weather radar and stuff. But having it built into the bike is pretty nice. When my brother and I test rode the Indian Challenger, they had the weather radar enabled on it, so we got to look at it. It is pretty neat. It's pretty handy being able to see the rain around you and stuff, storm cells, that kind of stuff. Now the third patent Honda has submitted for the next Goldwing involves advanced cruise control features. Now this works very much like my Tesla Model Y does. Whereas if you're cruising on a highway, for example, in like traffic, and you set the cruise control to say 70 miles per hour, now say the car in front of you slows down, with this adaptive cruise control, the Goldwing would slow down with the traffic in front of you. Now it would still keep, cruise control on, but the speed of the cruise control would slow down with the cars in front of you, and then speed up when the car in front of you speeds up to the speed you have set. It doesn't steer for you, unlike a Tesla will. A Tesla will steer for you, but although if it was coupled with the self-balancing technology and the prototype Honda motorcycle from a few years ago that had the self-steering and self-balancing technology, if they coupled all that together, then yeah, the adaptive cruise control on the next generation Goldwing could also steer as well, which that would be kind of wild, really. I'm not sure I like the idea of motorcycles self-steering at highway speeds. I'm just not sure I'm comfortable with that. In a car, like in my Tesla, I love it. It's fantastic. I have no problems with it. Nice Harley. In a car, it's one thing, but on a motorcycle, it's another thing entirely. And I'm just not sure the world's ready for self-steering motorcycles and that kind of stuff. But adaptive cruise on a touring motorcycle especially, I like that idea. I think that'd be very handy. It'd be great in traffic jams, on highways, on just general roads and just general back roads. However, it seems better suited for the Honda Goldwing DCT, because if you're on like a normal motorcycle with a clutch and a foot shifter, then if the adaptive cruise control slows down, and there's lug in your engine, you got a downshift. Whereas on the Honda Goldwing DCT, the bike shifts for itself, so it's completely adaptive cruise control. You don't got to worry about shifting or clutches or nothing. The bike will go all the way from 0 miles an hour up to 70 on its own. Now, of course, you can disable that at any moment. Just put the throttle forward and that'll disengage just like normal cruise control. Lots of other brands like BMWs and I think Kawasaki's too, I believe, are planning to put adaptive cruise control on their touring bikes. In fact, I think even one of the BMWs has it now. I'm not sure, but if it's not now, it's coming very soon. So Honda's just trying not to fall behind on that front. But I know if I had an option to get adaptive cruise control on this Goldwing, I would have probably paid for it. Maybe not in 2018 when I got this bike. I might not have paid for it. But since buying my Tesla and experiencing adaptive cruise control for myself, that is pretty awesome. And if I had the option to get it for this Goldwing, I probably would. Now that leads us to the fourth technology Honda's looking to patent for the next Goldwing. And it's something they've talked about for a while now. And that is a hybrid drivetrain for the next Goldwing. Now by hybrid, that means a mixture of gas engine like this, this flat 6, and electric drivetrain. So half electric, half gas. It might even be like a smaller gas engine, a smaller displacement flat 6, or even a flat 4 maybe, or something, with electric assisted or electric boosted acceleration and stuff. Because if they've got the batteries and the electric motors already on the bike, then maybe a smaller engine coupled with the hybrid drivetrain could probably make sense. Because you're adding the weight of the battery and the electric motors. Now this isn't like a full, this isn't a big battery on the motorcycle, like for like a zero fully electric motorcycle. They have large batteries that are heavy. For a hybrid drivetrain, you're talking about much less battery capacity, much less battery weight. It wouldn't really be running solely on the batteries at any one time. It'll be using the electric motor to boost the output and acceleration of the gas drivetrain. So then while you're, the battery's charged while you're riding via the alternator. I don't know. The concept of a hybrid drivetrain like that on the Goldwing does intrigue me. But I love the way the live wire rides. I mean, that electric drivetrain is great. And I would love to have something like that on a touring motorcycle, especially on this Goldwing. But the problem with that is electric drivetrains, and more importantly, battery storage, isn't technologically advanced enough yet to make that practical for motorcycles. Yeah, we have zeros and live wires and other electric motorcycles out there today, but they're all lacking in range compared to a gas motorcycle. And that really won't change until batteries become more energy dense in the world. Like solid-state batteries are the one advancement that can really make electric motorcycles a possibility, and not only a possibility, but you know, make every bike in the market go electric. Because solid-state batteries have really high energy density in them at low weight. That could give you in fully electric Goldwing with like 300-400 miles of range on a charge very easily. But solid-state batteries aren't coming anytime soon. They're still a long ways off. So in that light, hybrid drivetrains for motorcycles is not a bad idea. It's kind of like a stopgap from fully electric and gas, something in between. And my gut feeling upon researching it and stuff is that Honda has something pretty good going on here. I think they have a good idea. And I really think that, you know, if Honda could pull it off, a hybrid Goldwing for the next generation, that could be pretty sweet. In fact, I have to be honest. And talking about from my opinion on all this, those are 4 new techs that Honda is patenting and working on for the next Goldwing. And if the next Goldwing comes out with all 4 of those built into it, meaning, you know, same as this bike basically, the fully electric windshield and everything in this bike, but this bike with adaptive cruise, a hybrid electric gas drivetrain, what's the other one? Self-balancing and weather radar. Yeah, Goldwing with all of that could possibly get me to trade this in for a new bike. Like, seriously, I think I'd really look hard at that. Now, the downside to all this, of course, there are 2 downsides to all this. One, it makes bikes more complex. It adds complexity to motorcycles. Yeah, they're more technologically advanced. That would add a lot more technology to the Goldwing, but a lot more to brake too. And possibly a lot more weight on the bike too. So I'm not entirely certain that's a positive, but 2, it's gonna add cost to the next Goldwing. I mean, it's gonna make it more expensive. There's just no way around it. All that tech on the bike has to come free. I mean, you're talking some high-end, you know, tech. I think the cruise is pretty standard now in a lot of cars. It's becoming pretty common. That wouldn't add too much, but you've got to add the radars in for the adaptive cruise, the radar sensors, and that adds weight and complexity. The weather radar, that's going to have a satellite computer on board and everything, and the antenna to get the satellite signal for the weather feed. That's going to add weight. The self-balancing, I don't know how much weight that's going to add, but it's got to add something. I mean, it's got to be some kind of gyro built into the bike. That's not a light, you know, it's not small. And then you've got the hybrid drivetrain, which on top of a gas motor, now you've got an electric motor and electric batteries on board, neither of which is lightweight. So yeah, I like what Honda's doing. I like the prospect of it all, but it's not without its downsides. I love reverse. What a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. I'm here at the Reading Pagoda. So, to conclude this video, the new next generation Honda Goldwing sounds pretty intriguing, pretty awesome. Honda is obviously working hard on it. This bitch was broken last year, but looks like they fixed some of the boards. Good day for a ride. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next generation Goldwing. I think it sounds intriguing and awesome, but it might be complicated and very expensive. So good and bad, I guess. Let me know what your opinion is down below. And thanks for watching. Take care, ride safe, see you next time. I'll leave you with this view at the end. I did do a video on this Pagoda a while ago. I'll put a link to that in the card too.